Hello, good afternoon, guys, and welcome to our subject IT 320. And we are still on Unit 6, Chapter 12, Chapter 13, supposedly. This is Chapter 13, so we have Security Architecture. And our topic for this morning is about Enterprise Information Security Architecture. So before we start, our objectives are as follow. We're going to discuss about the importance of enterprise information security and systems integration, value the importance of enterprise information security, and understand the basic concepts of enterprise information security and architecture. So as you can see here on figure 31, we have the enterprise security architecture integration. We're in enterprise security and architecture integration is have in governance and for the risk management. This is also involving the organizational security. This also involves security architecture integration. And of course, this involves also the security education and awareness services. So most of the time, those are the components of your enterprise security architecture integration. Now, when we speak about enterprise information security architecture, this is the part of enterprise architecture focusing on information security throughout the enterprise. Now, when we talk about enterprise, this means we have the node for all the components of a local area network, or probably the network wherein you'll be able to serve as a function for long-term applications and based upon the services that you offer. Now, the name implies a difference that may not exist between small, medium-sized businesses and larger organizations. EISA, or Enterprise Information Security Architecture, is the practice of applying a comprehensive and rigorous method of describing the current and our future structure and behavior for organization security processes. This also involves the information security systems, the personnel itself, and organizational subunits so as they align with the organization's core goals and strategic direction. Although often associated strictly with information security technology, it relates more broadly to the security practice of business optimization in that it addresses business security architecture, performance management, and security process architecture as well. So enterprise information security architecture is becoming the common practice within financial institutions around the globe, and that the primary purpose of creating an enterprise information security architecture is to ensure that business strategy and IT security are aligned. So as such, enterprise information security architecture allows traceability from the business strategy down to the underlying technology. The first topic for this morning is about enterprise information security architecture topics. So first of all, we have positioning. This is enterprise information security architecture was first formally positioned by Gartner in their white paper called Incorporating Security into Enterprise Architecture Process. So this was published on the 24th January 2006. And since then, the publication, Security Architecture, has moved from being silo-based architecture to enterprise-focused solution that incorporates business information and technology. So silo-based architecture, this is the key word for that. And silo-based architecture is based only on the enterprise, among themselves, wherein it involves only the in-house production of softwares. Pero since then, it moved into enterprise, meaning to say it involves networking already, and that the networking enhances the strategize the component for security as well as data keeping for most of the companies. So in business architecture, we have the information architecture and technology architecture based on to be called BIT for short. Now with the security architecture family, it becomes BITs. So this BIT or BITs are the view of enterprise architecture, service-oriented architecture. It reflects the new addition to the enterprise family. So what does this BIT do? Number one is the business roadmap. wherein this is the blueprint for your businesses. The second one is the legislative and legal requirements, which is required by law, and you must endeavor to adapt to legal matters. And number three is the technology roadmap we're in. This is also a blueprint for technology naman nga side. So not only with the business case, but also with the technology cases. So it goes hand in hand, guys, when you have business side and the industry side. And of course, the industry trends, which states about what is the most commonly used right now, just because it's not for the kinanglan nga uso-uso, but actually, this is to prevent the future leaking of information. At the same time, you'd be able to protect your businesses or the contemporary structure for the program, nga hindi lagi siya maguntat kung waay doon niya nagagamit ka technology ninyo. And of course, number 5 is the risk trends, and the 6th one is the visionary. So risk trends are the trends that is being studied and of course mitigated, so that your businesses will go on smoothly. And the visionaries is the goals and the practices that you wanted to comply or to make adjustments with your settings. For the goal, you have 6 goals that you must provide for this kind of system or technology. So the first one is to provide structure, coherence, and cohesiveness. So what happens when there is structure, cohesive, and coherence and cohesiveness? Your operation will go on smoothly. The second one is must enable business to security alignment. So this is the purpose of this is to make sure that security is being placed on the side wherein you'll be able to bypass things like obstructions and other element which hinders your growth. So the third one is define top-down beginning with the business strategies. For top-down naman, guys, it goes on with the management, no? Wherein it's top to bottom. Wherein top-down is the most designated alignment for management purposes. So the fourth one is to ensure that all models and implementations can be traced back to the business strategy, specific business requirements, and key principles that the business or this model goes within the package that you brought upon. Of course, number 5 is to provide abstraction so that the complicating factors such as geography and technology religion can be removed and reinstated at different levels of detail when they are required. So for this requirement for providing abstraction and the technological capability, wherein you have the levels of detail for the requirements purposes, and this standards or requirements that you are going to comply is based upon the notice for the standards on the business technology that is being implemented by organizations, and it serves us also as a checker or what we call the rule of the thumb. So whatever the rule of the thumb is dictating, you must adhere to that so that you'll be allowed to operate within your jurisdiction. So the 6th one is the establishment of a common language for information technology or security within the organization. So most of the time you patterned it to the standards. And I think UML has a security component for that. So please study UML or the Unified Modeling Language. Now, let's study about methodology. Methodology naman is the practice of enterprise information security architecture. This involves developing an architecture security framework to describe the series of the current, immediate, and target reference architecture. This applied them to align program of change, and these frameworks detail the organization's roles, entities, and relationships that exist or should exist to perform a set of business process. So this framework will provide a rigorous taxonomy and ontology that clearly identifies what processes a business perform and detailed information about how those processes are executed and secured. So the end product is that you are going to set artifacts that describe in varying degree the detailed exactly and what and how the business operates and what security controls are required. So these artifacts are often graphical. Now, the second topic is high-level security architecture framework. These are the standards security architecture framework, not only subset of enterprise architecture framework. Now, if we are going to simplify this concept for abstraction of enterprise information security architecture within a generic framework. So these are the examples there. We have the SABSA framework methodology. We are going to talk about more of SABSA later on because SABSA, I think, is a framework layer. You can see on figure 32. And the content of the SABSA is conceptual security architecture, logical security architecture, physical security architecture, and component security architecture. We cannot scrutinize this one by one, guys. But imagine that these are the components of your framework layer. Now, if you're familiar with, in your datacom subject, if you're familiar with different layers, your application layer, your subset layers, and other kinds of layers, these layers are protective function, which has or serve as the basic component for the purpose of signal development, transfer of files, and other purposes. On figure 33 naman, you can see there the enterprise security architecture resources. So you have the risk management, the cybersecurity, information security, business continuum, and information technology. So this is a Venn diagram of enterprise security architecture resources. So other than SABSA framework and methodology, other components or framework are as follows. You have the DoD or the Department of Defense for the US framework. May anda nga kaugalingon nga framework dasanda. The third one is Extended Enterprise Architecture Framework. Fourth is Federal Enterprise Architecture of the United States Government, so FEA. Hindi nyo da ma-access, guys, kaya authorized person lang ang pwede kada dyan. Number 5 is Capgemini Integrated Architecture Framework. Capgemini, I think, is international. Then we have the UK Ministry of Defense. This one is exclusive for United Kingdom naman. So hands off kita kada dyan. Number 7 is NIH Enterprise Architecture Framework. NIH, I think, is Japanese standard. Number 8 is Open Security Architecture. This one is open. So you just research for this. You can access this one. Okay, open security na siya. So it's similar to your open source network, no? Open source softwares. So this open security architecture is free and free to use by everyone. So number 9 naman is Information Assurance Enterprise Architecture Framework. Number 10 is Service-Oriented Modeling Framework. 11, Open Group Architecture. Number 12 is Zachman Framework. And number 13, Enterprise Security. Now, guys, I want you to familiarize yourself with the Zachman Framework because Zachman Framework is used by UML or the Unified Modeling Language. And it is used by everyone all throughout the globe. So enterprises, company, big or small, is using Zachman Framework. So, ang Zachman Framework buhay do da, guys. And panahon pala namon karang una may Zachman Framework doon nga ginatawag. So, I did not include the Zachman Framework for this one because Zachman Framework is found in your systems analysis and design. You should be able to understand what is Zachman Framework, no? So, if you're curious about Zachman Framework, I want you to research on this and read it on Wikipedia, I think, and so that you'll be informed kung ano ang ginatawag ng Zachman Framework. Although ang Zachman Framework is used also in your UML. Now, for our last topic, we have relationships to other IT discipline. And relationships to other IT discipline is your enterprise information security architecture is the key component of the information security technology governance processes at any other organization of significant size. When we speak about significant size, it's probably 250 or more nodes or workstations. So, amo da kaduro, guys. So more and more companies are implementing a formal enterprise security architecture process. This is to support the governance and management of information technology. So as noted in the opening paragraph of this article, it is ideally relates that more broadly to the practice of business optimization. It is the in and out of addresses of business security architecture and the performance and management and process security architecture as well. So enterprise information security architecture is also related to IT security portfolio management and metadata in the enterprise of the IT sense. So if you're aspiring to be a security framework guy in the future, maybe admin for a security framework, you have to study this one. Okay? Now for your activity number 13, it's called Enterprise Security Network 113, and you're going to design a potent enterprise security network in LAN setting. So you may refer to Lab 2 as an sample. So you can do this in Microsoft Word or Microsoft Visio. So this is just a network mapping gyapon. So all you have to do is to map the computers. You can use any example for this one. Drawing mo lang dyan, guys. You have to i-plastar nyo mo lang yan ang mga node 1, node 2, node 3, node 4. Pero mabutang tinyo kay inyo nga security framework. So ano nga type of security? You can put there anything. Firewall, antivirus. In some cases, you can use a defreezer. No? So something like that. You can just visit any internet station and picture out the layout. And drawing mo lang dyan. I-drawing nyo sa bond paper or sa ano. You don't please don't do a crude drawing pang grade 1. It's not. I'm expecting more of you guys to draw it in Microsoft Word because you're a IT student, no? So I think that is all for this. This is your last activity. This is your last module. And we're going to have our examination on Monday, on June 13 at 2 p.m. Okay? So don't miss our schedule. It's June 13 at 2 p.m. Okay? So thank you, guys. The same examination. So don't forget to put or to write present in YouTube as comment for your attendance or your recitation. So thank you guys for attending your class and your final class for this semester. And thank you very much and good afternoon. So thank you. Bye-bye.